Hey guys, welcome back to J&J MMA. Real quick, I just want to cover what happened on the main card of Carlos Marlboro Man Prates versus Neil Magny. Usually I just do a quick shout-outs for the prelims, but there were a lot of finishes, so I'm going to cover all of them. I'm going to put timestamps in the descriptions if you just want to jump around or jump right to the main card. But for the first fight of the prelims, it was Meslissa Mullins versus Klaudia Sygula. I think that's how you say her last name. Basically, guys, it's pretty competitive. Klaudia, was kind of getting the upper hand in the striking at first in round one. And then by the end of round one, dude, fucking Meslissa just got on top of her and was rocking her shit. We get to round two, immediately Meslissa Mullins gets on top of her, starts rocking her shit. Eventually she pins down one of her wrists and just started raining down shots until the ref called it off. So it was a pretty quick, pretty vicious performance in that sense. And yeah, Meslissa got the W. Good for her, so shout out. Next fight was Tresean Gore versus Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend. We will not respect him enough to give him his name. Tresean graped this man, dude. Like, immediately when the fight started, he dumped him on the ground. Eventually they're fighting for position on the cage. Dude. And then eventually, dude, just fucking Tresean just gets him in a standing guillotine, dude, and just squeezed that shit. Within a minute and a half, got the sub, dude. Like, completely mollywop Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend. I don't know why he's in the UFC, but shout out to Tresean for that. Moving on to the next fight, guys. It was Blackshear versus Cody Stamann. Now, this fight only lasted about 4 minutes, or a little over 4 minutes, but these guys took their time in the fight. Like, the first 2.5 minutes were pretty slow. Then they started picking up, like, Cody was landing some shots. They were kind of throwing some combinations out. Blackshear, dude, threw a fucking beautiful knee, dude. Like, it connected right on Cody's forehead. And I think it was his forehead, but he fucking connected. And then eventually he ended up getting the rear naked, choking up, swarming him, getting on top of him, taking his back, getting the rear naked. I don't know, dude, if anyone's pointed this out, dude, but Damon's hand was fucking bleeding like a motherfucker when he was given the submission and after the fact, dude. Like, I noticed, like, his shirt stuck to his hand from it bleeding. And, he, the doctors immediately were like, hey, are you all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. And not his coach, not the commentators, no one addressed that his hand was bleeding, so I hope it's all right. But shout out to Damon for getting that, dude. It was nice. It was so nice getting all these finishes, like, back to back, you know what I mean? But the next fight, it was Matthew Semelsberger versus Charles Radke. Dude, Radke knocked him out in 50 seconds. Like, he wobbled him with a left hook, and then he just started throwing hands, bro, like left, rights, and then a left dude just caught his fucking chin, and Matthew just crumpled. And before he could get up, the ref was like, nah, it's over. And, I can't even blame the ref, because that shit was vicious. And Charles, at the end of the fight, was yelling, being like, I need a fight bonus. Homie cried a little bit, and that's all right. It's all right to get emotional sometimes. But he ended up getting a fight bonus at the end of the night, so that was nice. It was nice to hear. So shout out to Charles. Now, guys, I really want to talk about this next fight. It was Dos Santos versus Zach Scroggin. Dude, this kid lost his O so fucking quick. I think it was his UFC debut. He was 7-0. I'm not sure what the fuck they were thinking, bro, because this kid has 7 fights, and they're putting up against a man that has 24 wins and 8 losses. But Dos Santos swarmed him, dude. He ended up getting the kid up against the cage. He ended up, like, I don't know how he did, but the kid ended up kind of tripping a little bit or getting one hand down. As soon as he did, dude, Dos Santos was just swarming him with fucking, like, little uppercut punches, just fucking just over and over. And the kid, dude, like, he didn't even fight back. Like, he covered up. But he wasn't moving. It pissed me off because Michael Bisping was like, oh, look, he's defending. But he wasn't defending shit. Like, he was scrunched up, covering his face. He wasn't moving. He wasn't trying to get out. He just gave up. He crumbled underneath Dos Santos and his pressure. And Dos Santos showed that kid is not UFC caliber. So shout out to Dos Santos for that. But all right, guys, we're going to start off with the main card now. We're going to talk about someone who kept his fucking O tonight. It was Mansur Abdul-Malik versus Dusko Todorovic. God damn, bro. Anyway, this was a middleweight fight, but dude, Mansur, like, he fucking looks like a light heavyweight. Like, he's fucking huge. Dusko ended up falling down in the middle of an exchange, and he tried going for, like, knee bars and heel hooks and shit. But, dude, Malik, dude, was just pounding down on him, bro. Just straight hammer fist on this motherfucker. Eventually, they ended up standing up. And, dude, he landed as another one, dude. He landed a fucking knee, dude, and he ended up getting the TKO on him. it was a nice fight to see, bro. Like, you could tell he was getting a little gas because he was putting his all into the first 3 minutes of this fight. And it ended up paying off. So, shout out to Mansur. It was a nice way to open up the card. Moving on to the next fight, guys. It was Luana Pinheiro versus Gillian Robertson. Now, guys, I thought Gillian won this fight. I thought she was doing damage on the ground. All she does is go for takedowns, dude. But when she would get them, she was throwing hands. Her fucking coach is Dean Thomas. At one point, he was yelling, "Do the John Jones, do the John Jones," trying to get her to fucking 12-6 elbow. I'm going to put this in the video, dude. At one point, Gillian Robertson was 12-6 elbowing Luna right in her fucking vagina. Like, I don't know if that's going to get me in trouble on YouTube, but dude, straight up, dude, right, like, giving her straight coochie fucking slams. It was, I don't get how that's not illegal, but, shout out to Gillian for getting the win, dude. That would have been funny, though, if it would have been TKO via, like, 12-6 to the fucking gooch, But it was just crazy to see. But, yeah, no, I thought Gillian won that fight. Moving on to the next fight, guys. It was Bolanos versus Romious. I'm not going to lie, guys. I kind of tuned out of this fight a little bit. It wasn't super interesting. For the most part, Romious kept trying to go for takedowns. But when he would get them, he wouldn't get any damage off. And then there were times that he wouldn't get them. And then Bolanos was landing the more meaningful strikes, in my opinion. He also landed way more significant strikes. I ended up giving it like 2-1 by the rounds. I believe I gave Gaston round 1 and 3, but don't quote me on that, guys. I didn't go back and watch this one. But yeah, I just felt like he won the fight. I don't think there's any arguments for it. It was just a boring 3-rounder. But moving on to the next one, guys. It was Gerald Meerschaert, GM3 versus Reiner de Ridder. Now, guys, I didn't know who the fuck Reiner de Ridder was. And again, this man is a middleweight fight. This man could be a light heavyweight. He's like 6'5", I think. Like, he looked twice the size of Gerald, and Gerald's like 6'1" or 6'2" or some shit. But he just looked significantly bigger. Looking at him, I thought he was going to be a striker or a kickboxer, but no. I went and looked at his record after the fact, and this man, like, most of his fights are all submissions. So literally, he was just having a little ground game back and forth with Gerald Meerschaert. I will say, though, his stand up, like, I don't want to say it's bad, but homie was just kind of like flailing. Like, I don't know. He was kind of like doing the Duplessis, but like it wasn't working. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to describe it. Cause like Duplessis, like he fights like he's unrefined, but it works, I guess. I don't know how to describe it because I don't want to say he's sloppy, but I guess, yeah, we'll go with that term. He's sloppy. Like, it wasn't looking great. That being said, though, he was able to knock down GM3 at the end of round 1. If he would have done that earlier, it could have been way worse for him. But, I still stand by what I said. But, round 2, round 3, usually when Gerald's getting more dangerous type shit, because that's when he gets you, bro. He always gets you like round 2, round 3, gets you with the sub. Dude, he ended up getting tired out and shit. Eventually, de Ridder got on top of him, ended up choking him out at the beginning of round 3. And I mean, it was a good debut for de Ridder. It was. I'm not going to sit there and be like, he's going to set the world on fire or anything. Like, I definitely can see guys in the top 10 beating him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he could get a Marvin Vettori with that. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how good he is. We'll see where he goes from here. And I'm very ignorant to him. So if they're like fans of his in the comments, like, let me know without being a dick, how good this guy is. But we're going to move on to the main event, dude. Oh my God. Carlos Marlboro Man Prates knocked Neil Magny the fuck out, okay? Fight opened up. He was stuffing some takedowns, or he was like, keeping Magny off of him. And then, dude, I know the shot wasn't clean, like he skidded off of him. But when I watched the replay, there were some people I saw saying he got hit behind the ear. Maybe he did. But what I remember, if I remember correctly, it looked like he skimmed him off the fucking temple, dude. And, I could see Neil Magny going out with like the Windows XP noise right when that shit landed. I don't think he threw the fight. I don't think he took a dive or anything like that. So stop the cat, bro. He just got knocked out by the fucking Marlboro Man. You know what I mean? So I give all the credit to fucking Carlos on that, bro. I really want to see who he fights next, because I don't know if Carlos is like elite caliber or anything. I've only seen a couple of his fights. Seen all the memes about him smoking fucking cigarettes and shit. So I am here for the guy. I want to see him whip out the Marlboro essence and continue to win. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, guys, it was a really fun fight night. You know, there was a lot of finishes. I think there was only two or three decisions overall. So it was a fun fight, especially if you like people getting TKO'd and submitted. So let me know what you guys thought of the fight overall. It was Apex 100. I will see you guys in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.